So Erkan Ali doing core values, right?
Oh my God. Take two.
When I wrote the vision and mission statement, if this was before it was even called B Collaboration, when I wrote it, I pretty much wrote it on my own. I'm not like I'm on an ego trip, like it was. I was like 3 in the morning, I'm pulling my hair out, I'm sitting there trying to write it, and it all just came out. And it was pretty much born ready. I mean, I've done a few of them, so it's like writing a hit tune. It came out right. The only thing we ever added to it was that. That's the only addition, and that's getting reviewed, and it's growing up, and it's becoming something that we're going to take further on. But in its current state, is exactly how it came out, and we've been working towards that. And we had someone come to a meeting. He came to an early meeting, and then came to one later, and he said, "It seems so different here. I mean, what have you changed with the vision and mission? The space, the energy's really changed." I'm like, "We haven't changed anything." And I think he was just in a place to start to hear it and see it. I said, "That's exactly the same, apart from human being first." So I've got this question today. What does human being first mean to you? What would that mean? One of the ways we're using the values is to test us, to challenge us, to allow us to go to another level of what we're committed to. And we're using human being first as one of those core values, as a way of how we relate to each other. You know, earlier on when we spoke, I'm just thinking of you as a human being. To me, that's first. All the other stuff, hey, we can sort all that out. So how do you hear human being first?
I'm not a designer. I'm not this way of political thinking. I am Mitch. I'm here. A real person.
So there's something about
I'm not in a frame.
I'm not my profession.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. I'm not my profession. You go to a party, you go to a networking thing. What's the first thing you say? So what do you do? Well, I'm a coach. I'm a bank manager. I do digital websites. Do you know what I ask people? I say to people, who are you? That's a different question, right? So who else asked you here? Being a human being first.
Empathy.
Empathy. What does that mean to you, Simon?
Completely understanding the other person's perspective,
So you're in there,
and then reacting to it accordingly.
So you get into their world. So when you think human being first, so if someone cut you up in traffic, you won't go, you go, well, there's a human being. I'll let him go. He's obviously got to get somewhere quickly. Do you do that?
I do now. Seriously.
Yeah. I'll put it over with them. So you have a way of being that you can be over with someone else and be in their world and understand what's going on for them, as opposed to being in your space, defending, justifying, or avoiding that domination.
Now, like helping each other. Like, some really good TED talk the other day. I should send it around about this big experiment. And they just said like the object of the whole weekend was to nobody was allowed to do something for themselves. Like basically, you had to help as many people as you could, right? So the whole objective to the weekend was, big group, 1,000 people, and the whole camp was everyone help everyone else, right? And so someone broke down in their car, there was like 50 people to push a car. It was like too much. It's like, no, you're looking for people to help, but how much got done was absolutely incredible. More got done than anything else before.
Let me ask you a question. How could you feel when you help someone? Don't it feel great? No one put their hands up apart from Sarah. It's like, oh yeah, sort of make it on. But it's like, we all know this, we've been taught from a very young age that when you help other people, it comes back, you'll feel it. And I think that's definitely part of human being first, definitely. Anyone else? Sean, Dave?
Well, for me personally, I frame human as the fact that we're fragile and flawed. So when I'm meeting someone, it's about exploring that fragility and flawedness and understanding them.
Can I call that something different? If it doesn't fit, just tell me that. How about authenticity? Like a vulnerability?
I think that's the word, but I tend to...
You like fragile?
I like fragile and flawed because I know that people talk about let's have a better self, and I get that, but I prefer to talk about that I'm always flawed anyway. So
none of us are perfect, in other words.
Yeah, and therefore they're trying to reach out to people who feel themselves as flawed. Actually, really doesn't even matter, but there's another way of saying it. So it's about the more I found that I engage with people's fragility and flawedness and come up on my own, I get a deeper connection with people.
Yeah, I heard that. Sure.
So there's a couple of things going through my head. We're all human, so we're all equal.
Not sure
some
actually in this
respect.
room, but maybe outside.
And respect comes into my head as well.
And what do you mean by respect?
Respect for your fellow humans.
Lovely. Anyone else want to add anything? Well,
I'll just add one thing. Oh, sorry.
No.
No,
Don't let him take over.
Alright, for me, it might be introducing too much, but for me it's biology.
Biology.
We're 99.999% biology, and none of us can escape it. And we try and escape with lots of other mirrors and lenses and all kinds of rubbish. But, yeah.
Can you pay attention to it?
How about this? We don't really know.
We don't know. We don't know. Did you want to add, Glenn?
Well, I'm going to use the L word. I think human being first for me comes down to love, and trying to operate from a place of love, and partly what I mean from that, or largely what I mean from that, is operating from a place of non-judgment and allowing.
You've read a book, haven't you?
It's how I roll, baby.
Well, the other thing is, though, I'm going to just, if you don't mind saying, when we did Be Inspired, you were kind of asking the questions, how do you know I'll get my genius? And I went, you will. Didn't I? Do you remember? And you were like, well, how do you know? And I said, because it's down to me. I'm holding myself accountable. And that's what you got from it. Then we got you as, you are love. You are a love of others and a love of contributing love to people. And that's been part. That's how I relate to you. I just
love you.
Mr. Lover, love. I was going to do that. But I thought. So look, we've all got some great stuff, right? We've all got some great stuff. And you may think of more ways of expressing what it is for human being first. And here's what we're playing with at the moment. So these are the kind of things that we come up with: is look for the best in other people. How do I find the best in there? How do I find the genius? How do I find the love? Going back to Dave. Respect of ourselves. Going back to Sean. Collaborators, clients, and for the planet. You know, having that. When I first did win-win-win within the vision and mission, it was respect for us, our clients, and our planet. You know, it was that that three-way. Do unto others. I don't know why that's got. When I did a cut and paste, it didn't quite do it properly. Look for things that we have in common. Turn up prepared. You know, it's like if you're going to turn up to a meeting, you turn up prepared. It shows respect for the other person that's going to come and meet you. You know, that to me says you honour that other human being, that other life force of the universe. You know, if you like that kind of responsibility to be informed and acknowledge that other people have worth. I mean, the responsibility to be informed is. Quite often, my experience outside this community, people are happy not being informed.
So just when you said turn up prepared, something Sasha said earlier, which I think is really important, which I get often from this group, and something you did, Paul, is prepared to just go somewhere where you're not quite sure where it's going to go. So you don't know the ending, but you know this is the start. And I think that's the thing I noticed difference in this group. You'll start something without knowing where it's going, but you're more connected to say, actually, I know the first step, I'm not sure it's going, but everyone goes, yeah, that's a good first step, and then you join in and push people along, not knowing.
Well, I think a lot of the space we're creating in the front of the room is we're not presenting, we're sharing. So, we're doing something about preparation, there's some slides, but really it's about contributing to the group and also learning at the front of the room, learning another level of sharing those things. Trust, we talked about trust earlier on. Trust in the universe and others within the agreement and sensible, and do your due diligence. I think I said earlier on, I think it's come up before about just because someone's in this community doesn't mean you just give them carte blanche over things, but do your due diligence. Find that. Trust equity is about building trust. Yes, we can be 100% up for it, but do your due diligence. Remember, you're dealing with a flawed human being. We lie, we don't do things we say we're going to do, we try to avoid we try not to be responsible or accountable. We do all those things, and we know that. Whole-brained, whole-hearted, generosity and unconditional. I think for me, unconditional really leads to the idea of love. It's like when you're unconditional, it's like you're kind of like, I can accept you the way you are and the way you're not. And I think that's really becoming something very clear in this community. There's acceptance of ourselves and others.
I was going to say for me that it's about sharing, when we talk about sharing your best stuff, but without the expectation
Yeah. So if I give, yeah, exactly, perfect. So if I give you a gift of a pen, it's unconditional. Take it. It's yours. Done. You can take that home. It's yours.
We need
That's
to
right.
I've done that with 3 scarves and 4 hats.
Yeah, I want that back, by the way. You'll have nearly burnt your house down, broken your tent. Whole brain, wholehearted. We talk about that kind of stuff. Humility, you know, ego-free, equality. You know, this kind of inclusiveness. You know, nobody's out here trying to outperform each other. You know, we're all kind of learning together. Some of us have got some best bits and different best bits, and you don't feel like. I mean, I'll be honest. When Sasha shared his story, and obviously he's my friend, so I don't have that unbiased view. I didn't feel, woe is me, I haven't achieved £10 million worth of investment, or I'm working towards. I felt, well, if he can do it, he's my best friend, he's my collaborator, I've contributed, I'm sure he can help me do it when I'm ready. That's how I hear it. Whenever I hear anybody could share at the front of the room, or collaborators, it's like, well, if I've done something that you don't know how to do, I'll share it with you. That's so powerful. I mean,
the other thing, just to reflect back what you did, Sasha, I like the word, the thing with humility, that sort of, if you go too humble, you don't actually project your best bits, you don't talk about it because you're humble. But I like the bit about being selfish in your genius. Like by being that selfishness, you project and help everyone else in that sense. Again, that's a new use of the word, because actually there's a lot of people who use selfish, you can't be selfish, whereas I'd say actually
you can have a self-interest.
If you're genuine, authentic in that selfish, that this is my genuine need, this is my niche, this is where I'm going to be my genius, then that is okay.
And for me, if you like, as a kind of a centre point of all this, is I've seen that person kind of, the way I think of finding genius is it's already there. It's like the block of stone. I'm just helping people carve out for themselves what that means to them. And what we're doing as a community is accelerating that, because that's what Group Dynamic does. And we can do it quicker, faster, smarter. The more we learn, we can get more done.
Because you say that subject, you look at some of the people that have influenced most of the world, you know, like Jobs, Steve Jobs, what a horrible, selfish git.
It wasn't nice.
But, I'm not going to funny, but he's influenced more people in the world than anyone else.
We've got 15 minutes almost till I've got to finish, so sorry Sasha, I didn't mean to, right? You know, inclusive, social justice, we're not politically correct. We want to say what there is to say. I don't have to think about what I say, I want to say it. And in this space, it's safe. And then we'll learn and we'll work, and someone may hold me accountable and go, that's not really kind of what I think you should be saying. But I want people to feel free to say what's there, or what's in their mind, rather than covering it over. I want that authentic, we want that authentic communication. Now, if it's done in the spirit of forwarding our game, then we're going to say stuff that sometimes doesn't fit, you know, because otherwise we're too guarded. We'll never say the stuff we really want to say. Forgiving, gentleness, including with ourselves. You know, I'm going to do my genius slot, but I'm going to do it really quick. I'll get into that. And then kindness, love, and acceptance of ourselves and others. For me, if I can accept myself and I can accept you, then we have infinite opportunity and possibility. I mean, I remember when we first started working together, I drove you crazy. But then you drive me crazy. Because you're so detail and orientated and pin everything down and write it all up. Can't we just have a conversation and disagree? No. And I'm learning from that. And I bet you're learning from something from me, maybe.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. But I now see this, I see this man as a gift to me and to our organisation. Whereas at the beginning, my identity just struggled with it. My default. I go back to, a few times today, Sash, about being open and find out the next level of how this forwards our mission. So over the next months, we're going to kind of bring these core values to the fore, and we're going to discuss them, and we're going to talk about them, and we're going to engage with them. And we want to be held accountable for this. We want to be challenged by these things. It's not always easy, you know, integrity, doing what we say we're going to do. Who here can do it all the time? No, didn't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should. Well, the thing is, it's a balance, isn't it? If you only give your word to things you know you can do, you're never going to be outside your comfort zone. So part of the work, part of growing is give your word to things you can't achieve, and then some of them you will achieve, and some of them you'll try again. So that's that. Is there anything else to comment briefly on that, or should we save that for the bar? I want to do my genius.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to get it in.
Your comment about you two have different approaches. Somewhere in between is the perfect spot. You know? So he's a structured person, you're a free-flowing person, and somewhere in between, the creativity and the practicality meet.
I think so.
That's what's happening in the digital zone.
Yeah, and they are moving ahead really quickly. I think I'll drop the Genius slot because there's a 10-minute video in it, so we're never going to do that.
No,
What's the subject of it?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Genius slot without the video, and then I'll post the video on the Facebook group, and I'll send you guys the link to it, or you can just look it up and find it, and you can watch it. We'll watch maybe 2 minutes of it, yeah? Is that okay?
I need to leave in 5 minutes, I'm really sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, when you're ready, just... Okay, so...
You can knock it out quick. Come on.
Come on, let's do it.
Power it.
Boom.
So the Genius slot is about sharing. The history of it was in the old days I used to do the whole 4 hours, and then slowly different people started to give their bits and the know and be known, and the Genius slot was kind of my bit, and then now other people are doing Genius slot, and appropriately so. And Genius slot was about people sharing their latest wacky. You know, I'm reading a book at the moment about. I'm not going to go into it. I'm reading some really weird stuff. So, and once I've formulated it, I'd like to share it with the group. Not like it's right. I want it to be out there so people can go and make their own discoveries. You know, if you've heard of a speaker or an author, or you've heard about a book today that someone's mentioned, it'll be another level of understanding in a different area. And what I did was, what I noticed, a lot of business owners are invited to these events and they're invited to these seminars and workshops where they really are covert products for prospects. You know, we invite you to this thing, and then hopefully you buy our other stuff. And I thought, you know what, I'm sick of that stuff. I don't even want to go to them anymore. It's the same stuff. And I thought, what can I do for entrepreneurs? And I started off with my clients. I did the first one last week called Me Time. It's just, I want you to come along, and we did it in this room. We had 7 or 8 entrepreneurs, business owners, all either clients of mine or past clients. And the idea was, we all basically put 40 quid in the kitty, we ordered all the food we wanted to eat and drink, and then what was left over we donated it. And that was it. It was my gift to them, their gift was coming along. And so I designed this for them. And one of the things about Me Time was introducing this concept that actually, we already have everything. We're already standing on a huge amount of value, a huge amount of experience. It's like the iceberg principle. Is at 1/10 above the water, you see anybody in this room. And actually, if you take on really digging down and finding out more about people, then you start to find out there's this depth below them in their past and their experiences. You know, Paul's sharing the hang gliding thing and going to Eton. Has anyone here ever met anyone that's gone to Eton? First person I've ever met personally. Oh, right, okay. That's an insight into a world that I actually had a row with someone online about that. And then I went and looked it up, and I still didn't like Eton. But I've never been there. I've only seen a documentary.
Beautiful place.
There's a person, apparently the building's nice. Beautiful. So this idea that all these entrepreneurs, all these people out there running their businesses, I kind of experience them quite often feeling like they're never enough. They never get everything done. Who here got everything done today? No one, right? We never get it all done. We're never going to get it finished, and then we're going to die, right? That's the reality of it. But there's this mountain of value that we're standing on, right? And it's important that you know you have this value. You have a huge amount of value, and you should know that, and you should relate to yourself that way. And if you relate to yourself as someone that has worth, you hold yourself different. You walk into a room different. People listen to you differently. You make things happen, because if you don't value yourself, they ain't no one going to value you. So we're kind of introducing that notion. So the other thing is the idea of gratitude. Gratitude for me, again, this is my latest thinking. I've been in some situations recently and I lost sight of being grateful. And
Gratitudinal.
Gratitudinal, yeah. So it's basically the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness to others. Actually, I was having a bit of a row with someone the other day, and we were arguing about something. He said, I'm a human being as well. And I actually said this, and I said, yeah, I kind of forgot that, sorry. Human being first, well, a lot of bullshit, right? But it takes reminding sometimes. When you get to the train station, the train pulls out after you go, don't go, and they still pull out. It's those moments, it's those moments when it'll cut you up, or someone gives you a parking ticket, or starts a lawsuit, or doesn't play along with you. Those times is when we really need these things the most. And I think it's really important that we take on a practice of gratitude for you guys turning up today, gratitude for what was contributed today, a gratitude for being able to be in a beautiful venue in a nice town. But we don't do that, do we? We always look at the things we miss quite often. And you know, this notion that you're already great. You know, you are great. We're the life force of the universe. We're human beings. We've got dexterity, movement. We're brains two halves. We have a heart. Going back to Paul's thing, you know, all these, you know, 50 trillion cells all working together in this one sense of consciousness. We are awesome, but we don't feel that way a lot of the times. We don't behave like that. We undersell ourselves, and we pretend we're not. We don't serve anyone. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this as well. You're getting the job done. You are getting the job done. Sash, there's no reason you should be at the next stage of £10 million funding. No reason at all other than what you created. Paul, you're getting the job done. You know, it's taken 15 years to get here. It ain't going to take 15 years to get to the stage you need to be at. You've got Glenn in the room, you've got me in the room, you've got Sarah in the room, you've got all these people in the room that are listening to you, and you're building that up. You're getting the job done. There ain't no out there one day, someday I'm going to make it. You're not. You already are. But we don't live that. We always look at the things we didn't get done. No, you're getting the job done. You got the job done today. It's like dropping that pebble in a still lake. What you did today in that masterclass, boom, it's that pebble. Who knows where that will reach and who and what will happen out of it. But we don't. We pretend like what we're doing doesn't make a difference. So therefore it doesn't matter what you do. You just keep throwing more at it and you feel less effective and you feel like you're never going to get there. Well, you are getting there and you are there. So don't wait to get in there. The power of acknowledgement. The thing with acknowledgement isn't just a compliment. Hey, you're really great this or you're really great that. You know, the power of acknowledgement, Paul, is to create a future for someone to live into. When you acknowledge someone, they live into a future that you help them create. It's not a past-based acknowledgement. And I know you're sitting there going, well, how can you thank them? You're not thanking them. Acknowledgement is creating them. Who are you for me, Scott? You're an accomplice and a partner in crime. You're making a difference to the planet. That's who you are. That's an acknowledgement. That isn't a description of what you did last week. It's who you are becoming. And that's how I relate to you.
I haven't heard that context before. That's really good.
Yes, because this is not. I don't share all my stuff with you lot.
I thought you shared all your best stuff.
There's so much of it. So think about that. Think about that. Acknowledgement is a creative process, creating someone into the future. It's who they are for you going into the future. How do you acknowledge people to take their step in that future? How do you inspire collective action? This is the video. I'm going to show 1 minute of it, and then I'm done after that, pretty much. So the video is by a guy called Jeremy Rifkin, and he's amazing. This is 10 minutes. I'm going to show 1 minute, and then I'm going to take it on. It's on the RSA website, Royal Society of Art website, and it's about empathy. Who said empathy earlier?
Kenneth Williams, isn't it? Empathy, they've all got it.
Infinite.
Can you raise that?
I know.
In the last 10 years, there's been some very interesting developments in evolutionary biology, neurocognitive science, child development, research, and many other fields, which is beginning to challenge some of these long-held shibboleths that we've had about human nature and the meaning of the human journey. But there is another frame of reference emerging in the sciences, which is quite interesting. It really challenges these assumptions. And with that, the institutions that we have created based on those assumptions, our educational institutions, our business practices, our governing institutions, etc. Let me take you back to the early 1990s, sleepy little laboratory in Parma, Italy, and scientists had a MRI brain scanning machine on a macaque monkey as the macaque monkey was trying to open up a nut. They wanted to see how the neurons would light up. So the monkey's trying to open up the nut, the neurons light up, and just by serendipity, and this is how science sometimes happens, a human being walked into the laboratory, I don't know if it was by mistake, and he was hungry, he saw the nuts and opened up one of the nuts and tried to crack it open. The macaque monkey was totally shocked because who was this invader in his laboratory? And he didn't move, he just gazed at this human trying to open up the nut, just like he had done a few seconds earlier. And then the scientist looked on the MRI brain scanner, the same exact neurons were lighting up when he observed the human being opening the nut as when the monkey opened the nut. And the scientists had not a clue as to what this was. They thought the MRI machine had broken. They then began to put MRI brain scanning.
So Jeremy Rifkin is on the So I'm not going to do feedback, we'll do that later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you an assignment, and I'm going to give you a handout if you take one before you go away. is be happy, one, that's fine. And then what's next is I'm going to invite you to take some action, some next steps, some conversations that could happen out of this conversation. Complete, is there something you need to go and clear up with someone, forgive someone, go and acknowledge someone that you did something you could have handled better, and also maybe start something. Maybe start something. Maybe there's supposed to be something you've been wanting to start for a long time. It hasn't actually officially started, but go get it started. And know that you can do that. And on the task here I've given on the sheet is me time. I am great at. Write 4 or 5 things down. Share it with somebody. Don't just go right down and put it in the drawers. No, you know what I'm really great at is inspiring people at the front of the room. That's what I'm great at. I love it. But 1 minute. No, I'm not great. Let's finish on time. I'm getting the job done. You are getting the job done. Acknowledge where are you getting the job done. You are getting the job done. Or where do you make it happen? There's places that you make it happen. Places in your life, organisations within it, don't anyway. So, and then who do you or what do you want to acknowledge? Bye-bye, Celine. What do you want to acknowledge? Who can you acknowledge for who they've been being, who they are as part of your future? Teammate, a spouse, a friend. Maybe someone you haven't even got going yet with. Maybe acknowledge them for what they could become. And then any other additional notes. So we'll take this home. Do the assignment, I promise you it will make a difference. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good.
So if I punch in, you're going to put that video available?
I'll put it on a group, I'll put it on a Facebook group.